Francesca here, coming to talk to you about the colour potential cards again, and we're doing another 3-card spread, but this time it's about relationships. So this could be any relationship that you're in that you feel is not really serving you as best as it could at this moment in time. So it could be familial, it could be romantic, it could be a friendship. So think about a relationship. I'm sure one has popped into your mind already. And we've got 3 cards. The first card is going to be about you and the relationship. The second one is going to be about the other person. Though, of course, this being the cards, it's also about you. And the third one is going to be about the relationship overall. So let's crack on. Let's see what the first one is. This is about you and the relationship. And it is, oh, joy. Oh, oh, lovely, lovely joy. There are 17 colours in the deck, as I'm sure you know by now, but there are also 3 white light cards, and this is one of the white light cards. We talked about another white light card the other week, and that was about forgiveness. This is joy. So the 3 white light cards are slightly higher qualities in my mind. And joy is just something you cannot manufacture. Think back to when you were a child and you were just splashing about in muddy puddles just because it was so wonderful to do. It's that kind of joy. It's that spontaneous feeling. You can't help but smile when you're feeling joyful. So I think this is quite straightforward. As you know, some of the cards straightforward, some you have to work out a bit. This is about remembering the joy in this relationship. Presumably, even though it may be a bit sticky at the moment, there have been times, hopefully a lot of times, when there was a great deal of joy in the relationship. If there's never been joy in the relationship, then I suggest you don't have that relationship anymore. But think back to the times that you have had this joy and just reconnect with that for a bit. Get back to the source, get back to when it was working really well. I think it's really good to remind ourselves of why we got into that relationship with that person in the first place. So think of the joy, and white light has all the colours. So think of all the colours your relationship has been with that person. Excellent. So this is about the other person, or at least you and the other person. So what is it? Oh, yum. Interdependence, turquoise. Now, interdependence is turquoise because turquoise is blue and green. It's 2 colours. Think of the sea, ebb and flow. Interdependence is where we should ideally be in all our relationships. That is, not too dependent and not too independent. We want to be a mixture of the two, like the tide going in and out. So think about this turquoise. Again, this seems quite clear to me. Is there something in the relationship that is out of balance? Are you too dependent in the relationship? Are you too independent in the relationship? When I say too, I mean a little. You know, it just could be just a slight alteration of the scales. So think about this relationship. Do you feel that you're too dependent in it? Is it something that weighs heavy on you, that you don't feel is quite right? Or do you feel you're a bit too independent, you're a bit scared of that ghastly pink card, intimacy? Are you a bit scared of that? Could you take a little step forward with that? So have a think about where the balance might be, because ideally in a relationship you're both doing both. So you're both dependent sometimes and the other person is independent, and vice versa. It needs to be a balance, blue and green, ebb and flow. So have a think about where that might be in this relationship with you. Again, you cannot change the other person. Remember, I did this in the video. If you're locked into a relationship that is not working, you cannot change the other person. We never can. You can only change yourself. So if you are feeling a bit dependent, overly dependent in this relationship, you get a bit more independent, you change. The other person has to change. So this is not about changing the other person. This is about changing yourself so that the relationship changes. So have a think about that and see where you could make just a tiny, tiny difference. And this you do all on your own. This doesn't need to involve the other person. You don't need big discussions about it or anything. You just change and they will change, I promise you. So this is not a big thing. I'm not suggesting, you know, you go to them and say, oh, do independent with me, or whatever it is you feel like doing. Just change yourself a little bit of that turquoise, a little bit of that sea colour, and it will change things, honestly. Okay, the third one. This is about the relationship overall. So what is this going to be? Oh, radiance, gold. I don't think we've had a lot of gold colours in these readings recently. So radiance is gold because we prize gold over any other metal because it looks most like the sun. It is the colour that we associate with the sun. You know, I cover my canvases in metal leaf, in gold leaf, because it's so much brighter and more vivid and more radiant than gold paint. So this is about the relationship overall. So I'm going to have to think a bit about this one, radiance. Now, I have a quote with this in the book, and it is the most amazing quote by Marianne Williamson, that fantastic metaphysical writer, where she says, "It is not our darkness that we fear, it is our brightness, our radiance." And she goes on to say that it is our job to allow our personal light out into the world, to light up the world, to light the path for others. And so it's incredibly important. So radiance is not just about the sun shining, it is about you shining. So do you shine in this relationship? Does the relationship shine? When you think of meeting that other person, do you feel excited? Do you two, as a combination, become something greater than the sum of your parts? Is this relationship not serving not only you, but the world? I am blessed to have the most amazing friendships, and you know, I'm in my 60s now and I'm still making the most deep foundation setting relationships with new people, and I feel so blessed. And yeah, together we radiate. So this has suddenly got a lot bigger. It doesn't have to be too big. It can be as simple as, do you feel excited at the thought of this relationship? It doesn't have to be you lighting up the world. That's me getting big as usual, Francesca. It can be something very tiny. Do you feel excited with this person? Do you want to heal this? Here we go. Do you want to heal this relationship that isn't working so well? Is it worth it to you? Do you radiate enough within this relationship? Do you radiate together? It's a two-part thing. So have a think about this. Have a think about the gold. Feel the sun on your face. Is this what it feels like in this relationship? If not, you want to change it or you want to end it. One of the two. Okay, I'm going to stop talking now. Oh, that really sort of hit me quite deeply, that last card. Anyway, I hope that's explained some things to you, so it's made you, given you a few thoughts about this relationship. But remember, always tiny steps, and it's only you that need to make them. You change, they will change. You don't have to talk to them. You don't have to have a big discussion, nothing. You just do a little changing on your own. And then another very helpful and relatively new and wonderfully supportive friend has said, I am not saying at the end of the videos where you can buy these cards. You can only buy them on my artist website, which is francescahowardartist.com. So there you go. I've said my marketing piece. But anyway, thank you for joining. Oh, still feeling that radiant card. Thank you for joining me in colour.